Shalom. All praise is due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, Divine to the elect, Apostle, Bishops, Elders, that great millstone that rule well. Shalom to elect Aki out there doing this work in sincerity and truth and not for vain glory. In season, out of season. Shalom to elect Aki out there and the rest of the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, which are you so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, Native Americans, Hispanics, and Seminole Indians. Alright, just want to just bring this out. I was watching something on the news on how a police officer, okay, shot a black man in the back. Okay, all right. You know, they said he had a gun, but nobody has seen the evidence of so-called black man having a gun. And when I say the so-called black man, I'm talking about, you know, amongst you so-called Negroes, okay? African American, if that's what you want to call them. You know, so they shot him in the back as he was walking away. Now, the scriptures do say, a grieving thine adversary while he is in the way. Okay, but you know, it just goes to show you, man, they don't care whether you come at them. Oh yeah, and by the way, there's another incident. This old so-called white man shot slightly older black woman. You know, I think she was I believe she was delivering Amazon or something like that. And he shot her, and she was backing away, you know, and it was a so-called black woman, okay, African American woman, as a so-called white man want to say we are, okay. You know, so this is ongoing. This has been happening, you know, ever since, you know, the so-called white man brought so-called black people over here in slavery, okay, West Indians and Haitians as well, okay, all right. So let's read this. This is Nahum, the 3rd chapter and the 1st verse. Woe to the bloody city. Well, what is the bloody city? America. America is that bloody city. Okay? Because time and time again, you see so-called police officers. All right, this was a white police officer, and it was an old so-called white man shooting slightly lesser older black woman. Okay, so this is the bloody city. All right, and the scriptures say woe. Now woe means death and destruction. Okay, you know, and just look at what happened to our people, you know, and then you can go down to the Native American tribes and Mexican Indians that occupy this land here in America, Arizona, Texas, California, that all belong to the so-called Mexicans, all right, which are our people, which are a part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, so this is the bloody city. America on the whole is the bloody city. So, you know, all this blood has been spilled by the so-called white man on the 12 tribes of Israel, whether it be so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, Hispanics, or Native Americans. Okay? So this place, America, is set up for destruction. Okay? And it is the bloody city. Blood of the 12 tribes of Israel is shed on the city, which is America. Woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies and robbery. Well, you know what that means. Okay. How did the so-called white man become an American? Okay, they had to murder, okay, the indigenous people of America, which is the tribe of Gad, which is you so-called Native Americans, the tribe of Ishakar, which are you Mexican Indians, and the Seminole Indians, which is the tribe of Reuben, you know, and they brought the so-called black woman over here to serve slavery, all right, and in other parts, you know, of the Caribbean and so forth, but we're specifically talking about America, okay, you know, so they robbed this land, they took it by force. The prey departeth not. Yeah, the prey is still here, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. Excuse me. All right. So this place got to go, man. It's prophesied that America will go, okay, by fire, all right, by those nuclear missiles, first and foremost by Yahweh, sent his son, Yahweh Shai, on a giant-sized chariot, size of a mountain, and the other Michael archangels and the other angels and the other innumerable chariots coming over here to shoot lasers out of chariots to burn this place. Yeah, woe to the bloody city. So America will not become great again. It will be destroyed because the blood of the saints. Who are the saints? Saints are you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. Okay? All right? You're the saints of Israel. Okay? So, woe. Woe means destruction. So America's going to be destroyed. All right. So let's go to Numbers, the 35th chapter. All right. And the 33rd verse. These Christians like to come up here and say, the Old Testament, it doesn't matter. Well, no, that's not true. The Old Testament does matter. Okay. All right. All right. Because they still take tithes. All right. That's in the Old Testament. All right. Numbers 35. My bad. What's sin? Sin is the transgression of the law. Do you sin? Do we sin? Yes, we do. So that's transgressions of the law. That's in the Old Testament. Numbers 35. Wait. Okay, Numbers 35 and 33. Numbers 35 and 33. Okay. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. Yeah, murder. Not righteous killings, but wicked killings, like murder. Okay? All right? And that's what the so-called white man Esau has done. All right? The blood of the saints have been shed here in America. Okay? All right? Who are the saints? You so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. Okay? You're the saints. Nobody else. The white man is not a saint. The so-called white man is not a saint. The Arab, East Indian, Chinese, Japanese, they're not the saints. All right? You Israelites are the saints. Okay? which are you so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Seminole Indians. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. Woe to the bloody city. See, the bones of, of our forefathers is in the blood of our forefathers is all in the land of America, man. All right? By who? By the so-called white man. All right? And by the heathen nations too, by the way. Okay? The other heathen nations, but we specifically focusing on the so-called white man, because he sheds the most blood, man. Okay? Yeah, you may have a Korean shoot a black woman, and something to that nature. You know what I'm saying? But it's mostly the so-called white man. Okay? And the white woman as well. Okay? It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. This land is defiled and has to be destroyed. Okay? And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Yeah, so, well, you know what that means. Esau, so-called white man, your blood is going to be shed too. You did it to the Lord's chosen people, the saints of Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. Well, guess what? We're going to do it to you by the power and authority and rulership of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hope you may edify, and with that, Shalom.